1 out of every 4 children reports being bullied during the school year. October is National Bullying Prevention Month, and the goal obviously is to figure out how to reduce this bad behavior. To help, we've brought in Dr. Marcy Beagle, a child behavior specialist and author of the new book, Love Your Classroom Again. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you.
So it seems like these days bullying is worse than ever. Is it in actuality?
Yeah. Yes, it is. There's been an increase in challenging behavior across the board with children, and bullying is just one of the ways it's increased.
Why is that?
Part of it is that that's what children are seeing, and therefore they enhance it and magnify it. So whether it's the way they're being treated by adults, parents, and teachers, or it's what they're seeing in the media from our leaders and other outlets, or in entertainment, being cruel has become entertaining and a commonality.
So how can we make sure that our children are not being bullied? There's some things that we can do, right?
There are definitely some things we can do. One is to teach our children to really know who they are, so that they can feel confident in what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are, so that when somebody points out their weaknesses, aka a bully starts picking on them, they can go, oh yeah, I'm working on that. And it's not as big of a deal as when you're not sure what your weaknesses are.
The next one was be responsive.
Yes. So rather than be reactive, one of the things that we all like is when someone reacts really big to us, good or bad. So if we can teach our children to be responsive and thoughtful and say, I don't like what you're saying to me, so I'm going to walk away from you now, or I'm going to change the conversation, rather than reacting and getting really upset, bullying may change.
And what are some other tips in terms of this?
So there's also, you have to teach your children to be self-confident, so they can consider that even though someone's telling them something about themselves that may not be true, that it may not be true. And to consider that, to think for themselves, and confidence really helps with them.
And then choose honey, which is what?
So I'm a big fan of the phrase, you catch more bees with honey than with vinegar. And so we need to teach our children to choose honey, to choose the good things in life rather than the vinegar, the hard, the souring things.
On the flip side, how do we make sure that your child is not the bully himself?
Absolutely. There are some great ways to do that. One of my favorite is the rule of 3, which is coming up with 3 amazing things about somebody else, and especially someone your child doesn't like or is having conflicts with. If they can come up with 3 things that that child is great at or is wonderful because of, we can certainly change that behavior, because you'll start seeing that child differently.
Also on that list was find their struggle and get personal. What does that mean?
Right. Most children who are bullying are actually having their own struggle. It's not actually that they don't like that other child that they're picking on. It's that they feel insecure, they're scared of something, they're having a hard time learning something. If we can find out what that is, we can actually address the core issue rather than looking at the surface bullying challenge.
In terms of everyone on their phone these days, kids have technology at their fingertips pretty much 24/7. How does that play in, and what do parents need to be aware of when it comes to cyberbullying as well?
So cyberbullying is super interesting to me because it takes all the personal elements of it out of it. You don't have to look in someone's eyes and see their reaction. So it makes it easier to bully because I don't have to know that I'm hurting your feelings because I put it out there, you read it at some other point in time, and I don't really know the impact it has. So teaching kids that it's personal, that I'm talking to you, even if it's on Facebook, even if it's on Snapchat,
And then monitoring their screen time, you said.
Absolutely. Making sure that they're using technology with intelligence and that it's being monitored rather than just giving them free rein helps them really know what to do.
Really quickly, because I love your new book, Realistic Behavior Strategies for Educators. So you go through several different scenarios in here for teachers. What do teachers quickly need to keep in mind if they have bullying going on in their own classrooms?
I think that they need to keep in mind that it is an entire classroom problem, not an individual child. It's a bad behavior, not a bad kid.
All right. Well, Dr. Marcy, thank you so much for being here. We so appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
And for more information, you can head to our website, cbsnewyork.com.